is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
What's up, everybody, and welcome into another episode of the Up Tempo Podcast. I'm your host, Blake Lane, here tonight with my co-host, Dustin Smith, and we're here to talk about some Auburn Tigers baseball. Dustin, it wasn't the outcome that we really wanted this past weekend. We got swept on the road at the number 7 Arkansas Razorbacks. Not what you wanted to see. I think there's a lot to grow on after this sweep. A lot to learn from, a lot of puppies that need to grow up really quick. An offense that absolutely abandoned us, an offense that we've seen put up big numbers all season, and just kudos to the Arkansas pitching staff. Completely shut us down, especially on Sunday. Was just no life there Sunday. Kind of looked like we just accepted a sweep. That's what it really looked like from me. But first, man, before we get into this baseball side of things, I wanted to ask you, how have you been? I know the arm, how is it coming along? And how are things going in the everyday life, man?
Pretty boring right now, buddy. It's it gets a little bit better every day, but I can't go back to work. I can't straighten it out. If I had more room here, I would show you, but it's my arm goes like this.
Man, that's tough.
Old Dr. Seuss arm. And there's no breaks though. It's just like chips and fractures. So it's just a wait and see deal. So basically, I'm going to kind of allude to it at the end of the show, but just putting together this recruiting database for us, trying to really work on that and attack this recruiting game coming up. So trying to make productive time out of it, brother. But it's boring as hell.
There we go, man. I know you do a great job, and you really work hard at this, man. So I really appreciate it, and in everything you do, and just giving me your time to record these podcasts, man. I really appreciate it. So with that, Dustin, we will hop in here, man, and we will get this thing going. We will recap the best way we can these 3 games. They were brutal, man, but in my opinion, not all hope is lost, man. This was a 3-game set with, in my opinion, one of the teams that's going to be in Omaha this year, a team that has really good pitching, a team that has an absolute dynamic offense. All right, 1 through 7 can absolutely rake the baseball. Okay, they all hit in the 300s. They all hit for power. Arkansas has a lot of pop. The Jace Borfin guy, Kendall Diggs, the Wegner kid, this lineup, they are very, very good at barreling the baseball up. So I think we got to learn a lot, man. But just off the top, man, your thoughts, your opinions, and just your overall outlook on this series, man.
We're young and we're hurt, so it's not a good combination. It's not a good combination. And tried to allude to this when we were just ripping the cover off the ball, when guys like Ike and Chris Stanfield and everybody was just tearing it up. It'll slow down a little bit. And to that, Ike and Chris both got 1 hit this weekend. And for their first SEC series. So, you're not shocking, but listen, we got a lot of young guys. We depend on a lot of young guys. And then a lot of the guys that we do depend on, they're beat up. We need Bobby Pierce. It's time to find out if Gonzo is going to play for us this season or not. We need Coop back. Bad. So there's just that's a big bat right there that we're missing. So yeah, we're beat up, brother. We're beat up, and we're playing a team like Arkansas that's not beat up. And you talk about their lineup, right? And I hear you, but that that rotation, bro, is scary as hell. Everybody that comes out the pen, ERA under 4, all of them. And we got guys coming out the pen with ERAs above 10. So it's just, you know what I mean? It's just we got our ass kicked up and down, and it's not. I'm not hitting the panic button or nothing, but it's time for some of these things to get right.
Yeah, and the reason I say don't hit the panic button is because we always have the opportunity to go back and look at what Ole Miss did last year, right? They had a couple of bad series. They got swept at home by Alabama last year and went on to win the national championship. So let's not hit the panic button and get on social media and just spit out hot takes just yet. There's plenty of time to get this thing turned around. There's a big series this weekend, a chance for us to win it, possibly sweep it, man. If we play well, we can sweep this series. And I know this will be listened to later tonight, early in the morning, but we take on South Alabama in Montgomery tonight, 6 p.m. Central on the Auburn Sports Radio Network. That can be a big momentum booster there. I have seen South Alabama play in person. They can't hit. I'll be honest with you, they can't hit. Okay, I'm not going to hold back. If they hit against us tonight, I will be shocked. I went and watched them play Alabama the other night at Stanky, and they really struggle to drive in runs, man. They really struggle to get motion on the base pads. I believe they got swept in their series this past weekend.
Who's starting?
Drew Nelson starting for the Auburn Tigers. Drew Nelson, and actually he looked really well.
Bright spot of the weekend.
Yeah, bright spot of the weekend. Absolutely. I thought he did phenomenal this weekend, so I was really impressed with him. But before we get into all three of these games, Dustin, I wanted you to give me three things that you want to see improve with this Auburn Tigers baseball team.
Number one is Chase Alstott. You've gone from the point of being somebody that we needed to be, was supposed to be the Friday night starter, to, okay, well, we can at least depend on you to come out the pen, to now we can't depend on you to come out of the pen. So this can't keep going that way.
Absolutely.
You're a guy before the season that we needed, that we depended on big. And if you said before the year that Chase Alstott was going to have a bad year, it's like, okay, well, somebody else better step up that we're not expecting. And right now, everybody's been up and down. But that's a guy for sure that needs to get it together, and we need him to get right quick. Pitching staff as a whole, not going deep enough. Not getting deep enough into these games. I mean, we're not getting 5-6 innings out of anybody. Zach comes out, settled down. Okay, he settled down, but he gives up three runs in the first, and then you're just playing from behind the 8-ball, and only gets 4 innings out of it. And I was impressed with the way that he bounced back. That could have went south. He ended up getting 5 strikeouts out of that. But when you have that rough of a first inning and get that pitch count up, you end up only throwing 4 innings. And it seems by Sunday, Blake, our pen is wrecked.
Yeah. And Dustin, not trying to cut you off real quick, but help a brother out, man. All right. Look, you got a freshman on the bump in a Saturday SEC series. Cole.
I know you're going, yeah.
Cole.
Yeah.
Help him out, dog. Come on, man. Help him out. Like, look, I know Zach. I know he ended up giving up the shot to the left center gap to, I believe it was Kendall Diggs. But help a brother out, man. Like that was just, I loved what Butch said is we weren't ready at game time.
Right.
We weren't ready at game time, and it showed. All right. Your guy gets a leadoff ground ball to your veteran shortstop, a guy that just never makes mistakes hardly over there, and can absolutely flash the leather. And you throw it 3 miles over Ike Irish's head, and you had plenty of time. That play wasn't close, and you sell one. So Zach, he probably off the bat, he said, hey, ground ball, there's one out. And then all of a sudden it turns into just a roller coaster of emotions. All right. You see Butch, him coming off the field, him and Butch meet. Something went on there. That's probably a growing pain right there, a lesson to be learned with Zach. And he's a puppy, man. And that's one of the people that I was kind of talking to is puppies, they got to grow up. And I believe Zach will do just fine. And I really don't even put that first inning on him because of that, man.
That's a good point.
I know we'll talk about it a little bit more when we dive into game 2 and everything. But man, yeah. Anything else on what you need to see improve?
So my final one, I'm glad you said that because it goes right to it, and it's a good point because it's his first SEC start. You got to help the kid out.
Yeah.
It's mental errors. And
Yep.
I'm not talking about just errors on the field, but there's a lot of errors on the base path. Oh, I don't even want to say a lot, but they've been piling up on these last 2 weekends. We've lost these back-to-back series. You're doing a lot of stupid stuff. I mean, you see Nate LaRue get a hit and then get picked off. And it's like, come on, man. Come on, Nate. Like, you're better than this, brother. You're better than this. You know you're better than this.
Yep.
We know you're better than this. And you see him hose a guy out. It's just you know what he can do. You know why he's got to be out there. But man, they are just these mistakes. And yeah, that's my third thing. Is there's some mental errors that are costing us. That we're cluttering up the base paths. We're swinging at bad pitches when we're up in the count, and all of a sudden, it changes up the whole count when we've got. I mean, how many times do we leave guys on the base paths?
Oh man,
several times, bases loaded, 1 out, even 2 outs. You got bases loaded. You gotta get more than an infield fielder's choice RBI. So yeah, just mental errors in every aspect of the game need to be cleaned up.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest things with me, man, is you watch the series play out all 3 games, and it was just the clutch hitting from Arkansas. When Arkansas had an opportunity to bring guys in, they did it. All right. They were barreling balls up in the first game. Tommy, he mowed through the first 3 innings, gets into that 4th inning, gets into some trouble. It was self-inflicted trouble. That's what happens when you walk people. We'll talk about it. And then, he gives up the 3-run bomb off the scoreboard. So, that was my biggest thing with the series, man. And we got to see, Auburn can't leave guys on base, man. When you get the opportunity on the road against number 7 team in the nation, you got to drive guys in, man. You got to have clutch hitting. You can't have bases loaded, 1 out, and get 1 run out of it. Not on the road against one of the top programs in the country, man. I mean, Dave Van Horn and the job that he has done at Arkansas, they're going to be in Omaha this year, all right?
Looks that way.
It looks that way, man. They're really, really good, man. So, diving into game 1, Dustin, we lose 7-2. We jumped out to a lead, man. That's what's crazy about it is you had Case and Howell with a nice little yabo right there. I mean, getting it up and out of there, got it out of there in a hurry, and it looked like Auburn had a little confidence in game 1. Tommy looked good through those first 3 innings, man. I think in the 2nd and 3rd inning, he threw a total of 18 pitches. So, it looked like we were about to roll. And I actually started sitting here, Friday, I'm sitting here at my desk and I'm like, hey, look, this is going to be the Tommy Vale start where he goes 5 2/3, maybe 6 complete innings. This is it. Here we go. Like there's some positivity coming from this. And then all of a sudden, all right, you go in the 4th, in the bottom of the 4th, you go walk, 3-run bomb. All right. Walk, 3-run bomb. All right. Another big thing to me, Dustin, is Auburn walked 13. They had 13 walks the entire series. I believe it was 13 walks.
Sounds right.
Yeah, I know they walked 7 guys on Friday. Yeah, and then I think they walked 6 on Saturday and Sunday combined. So I'm pretty sure it was 13 walks. I'm pretty sure they hit 5 or 6 batters.
Definitely.
That's another thing that I want to see cut down is the hit by pitches, man. I mean, that is, and they're in counts where, I see one, we're 0-2.
Yeah,
we're 0-2, sure. And we're hitting a guy. We got to be better, man. We got to be better. On a breaking ball, 0-2, and you're hitting a guy. We got to be better from top to bottom. But in this entire series, the next biggest thing to me was just not being able to avoid the big inning, Dustin. And in the first inning, that was that fourth inning, man. They come out and they have a 5-run fourth inning. And it was like all 3 games, we couldn't avoid the big inning. And, that fourth, man, it killed us. You could just kind of see all the air come out of Auburn right there. That fourth inning, the bomb ties it up, or they take the lead and everything. And it just looked like Auburn was dead from there on out, man. Nothing offensively. Just, I don't know. It was tough to watch. It was tough to watch. I mean, other than Drew Nelson coming in with the 5Ks, it was tough to watch, man.
Yeah, I never would have thought, before the season, I would have said, hey, SEC play probably starts off a little tough. I was surprised that we looked so good so early. I mean, Lipscomb was a solid team. USC is a solid team. There were some concerning things in there. I mean, there was a game where we clearly should have won and we ended up tying because you gave up so many. I mean, there was concerning things, but like we did a little bit better out the gate than I thought we would do. And
Absolutely.
it's just because of new pieces, transfer portal, new pieces, the question to your ace, and then we're depending a lot on young guys. I mean, Friday's a perfect example. Chris Stanfield and Ike Irish are hitting over 400. They don't get a hit. We're probably not going to win games where those 2 guys don't get a hit because we depend on them. And they're 18, 19 years old. So this is going to happen. Arkansas, they're ready to roll right now. So like big picture, best case scenario for us is that guys get healthy, and then by the time the SEC tournament comes around, we've won enough series, stole some games in some versus the bigger teams to where our RPI is straight, and we just want to be playing the best ball to get into the field of 64 at the end of the year. That's best case scenario for us this year.
Yeah.
Arkansas is about to rattle off one hell of a season. The 2 teams, we're just in 2 different spots right now, because our whole team got drafted last year. So it's because of a good thing, and these are talented guys. So hopefully this is something. I mean, you gotta try, if you're trying to take something out of a loss, you say, okay, well, look, Drew Nelson struck out 5. I mean, he looked brilliant. Like he looked great. So we'll see tonight here in about an hour or so. If that can continue, hopefully it's some momentum for the kid. But that's what it is to me, man. It's youth, and this is the kind of game where Bobby Barrels, when those guys are on base with 1 out, Bobby Barrels probably hits one in the gap. When you're in these kind of games, that's when you're going to start missing those kind of guys.
Great point. 100%, man. And the reason why I tell everybody to pump the brakes so far is look at the conference. Okay. All right. Tennessee just got swept by Missouri. All right. Wow. First weekend. All right. Wow. Tennessee, number 2 team in the country, gets swept. All right. You had Alabama lose 2 out of 3 to Florida. All right. They're top 5 nationally. You had Texas A&M lost 2 out of 3 to LSU. All right. Weird flex also in game 3. You're hitting a nuke and Grittian at home plate. And I mean, that was just super weird. Texas A&M vibes, man. They're always doing the weirdest stuff, man. Like you're losing a series, bro, and you hit a bomb in game 3 and you're Grittian at home plate. Like insanity. Kentucky, bro, absolutely put it on Mississippi State.
Well, they have fallen off. That program has fallen
off. It actually kind of scares me, man. It scares me because of the Butch vibes to Mississippi State, the connections and everything. I don't want to talk about it right now, but it scares me. It scares me, man, because he's a Mississippi guy, and he's from state. So
pony up, John Cohen.
Yeah. That's actually the one thing that I think could possibly keep Butch at Auburn, and I actually had a conversation about that about a week ago with an Auburn fan. So they've fallen, bro. They've fallen smooth off the face of the earth. And then Ole Miss, like, hello, how you doing? What's going on there? So don't panic. It seemed, I think you text me and you were like, well, we're probably going to get swept, but at least everybody else is getting swept. So, it is what it is. But
that makes me think real quick. I know this is off, but what do
mhm.
you think about no divisions anymore?
I actually like it.
You do?
I do. I like it. And the reason why, because I like everybody just lined up and the top two teams play, man. All right. The top two teams, that's on the football side of things. But in the baseball side of things, man, I like it because, it's not, like I want to play. I want to play Kentucky. I want to go to Kentucky every now and then. Like I
Right.
want to go to Missouri. I want to go to the other places in the East, man, that we might not get to normally. And with Oklahoma and Texas coming in, I just think it adds a lot of parity to the entire conference, and I think you kind of gotta go to just one conference, one league, man. You can't have divisions anymore because then Oklahoma and Texas, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna throw Auburn and Alabama in the East, and so I think you kind of gotta. I think their hand is just getting pushed a little bit to making that move, but I like it. I kind of wish it was already that way because because I like what the Big 12 does in football. You don't get a 9-3 LSU team in the SEC title game.
Right.
So it's stuff like that, man. I like what the Big 12 does and everything. So top two teams play, and you go at it. So. But yeah, on the baseball side of things, I like it as well. I'm gonna love it in basketball. I think it's gonna do basketball. The way they do it, is that's the way it should be. So, I don't know, man. Like I look at this weekend, and now I'm starting to think, we got replaced Tennessee with Missouri. Maybe we should have we should have left it with Tennessee. We were looking at it, and we were like, well, we got Missouri, so that's kind of a bright spot towards the end of the year. But now we're looking at it, and we're like, well, hell, maybe we should have kept Tennessee on there.
Yeah, there ain't no bright spots in this conference, dude.
Hey, that's true, man. And you got two juggernauts coming in, and Oklahoma and Texas. That's going to make it. I mean, have fun, dude.
Yeah,
have fun. It's insane, man. But yeah, going into game 2, Dustin. We mentioned on our last episode going into game 2. If you can get one game Friday or Saturday, you feel really good going into Sunday, and you kind of feel like, hey, even though we might lose Sunday and lose the series, you kind of salvaged things, right? You get one game on the road at Arkansas, you can salvage that. You can come back home and say, hey, we're all right.
Yeah.
And you got Zach going. You're feeling confident because, I mean, in my opinion, he's been your bright spot. Mm-hmm. And just right out the gate, man, like Butch said, you're just not ready to play. All right? Nobody shows up at game time. You're not ready to play. Man, your thoughts on game 2, your thoughts on Zach. I'm not going to put it all on him. He didn't pitch his best, but it damn sure wasn't all on him. So that stat line's a little, skewed.
Yeah, we talked about it. We talked about the error and that setting him back as a kid's first SEC start. And like we talked about before with Zach, and it's easy to anybody watching now to see, he's got that dog in him. So he rebounded, still gave you 4 innings. Like I said before, that pitch count got up in that first, and that's why you can't get to 5 or 6. But we're gonna have to start getting 5 or 6, and then this is the game where Chase comes in and gets 1 out, and gives up 4 hits. I mean, I don't want to pile on him, but it's just, because again, the talent is there. It's about the consistency. So my problem with this game is you just got your ass kicked from the beginning and you didn't look ready to go. Ike's 0 for 4, Cole's 0 for 4, Chris is 1 for 4. I mean, shout out to Bryson, he goes 2 for 3, and Bryson and Kaysen are the only ones really did anything from the plate this weekend. So shout out to those guys. But other than that, I thought this one was kind of the most discouraging to me. Like Sunday sucked obviously because you barely got any hits, but they got pitchers that are capable of doing that. So at some point it's whatever. My problem with game 2 was, you just didn't look like he wanted to. I don't know. It was cold. It was cold for both teams. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know what it was, but you just got this one. This one stuck out to me of the weekend. Like you weren't even ready.
McIntyre threw for Arkansas, I believe. I'm pretty sure it was McIntyre. But he's an SEC stud. All right.
They got horses, bro.
Yeah, look, they might not want to admit it. All right. Arkansas fans might not want to admit it, but they are a baseball school. I know their basketball program has won a national championship, and I know that they've been to Elite Eights and things like that here recently, and they're in the Sweet 16 this year. But, man, just the dominance that your baseball program has had, and I know Dave Van Horn hasn't won one yet, and you were literally a routine foul ball down the right field line in Omaha away from winning one a couple years back, and somehow you let that thing fall, and Oregon State, I believe it was Oregon State, comes back and beats you. Yeah, comes back and beats you. So that was a wild time, but man, Arkansas, when you just look at all the talent that has come out of there, insane, man. One of my favorite Arkansas guys with Andrew Benintendi. He had a short stint with the Yankees this past season, ultimately got hurt. I think that really hurt the Yankees' run into the playoffs. So, yeah, man, look, once their leadoff guy hit the bomb, what's his name? Josenberger or whatever his name. He plays center. Almost had the hell of a catch. I think it was Friday. Yeah.
What is up with that, dude? There have been like just gyms on us every weekend, bro. People are like Gold Gloves every weekend on us. I don't get it.
Yeah. I really felt like when he homered, that was it. And really and truly, once again, man, like we said earlier, that was really the telltale of this series was their pop against our swing and misses. Really, I mean, we just couldn't barrel anything up. Nothing would fall. And what do you say, man? You come out and you just, I mean, you really shit the bed. You weren't ready to play. You got smacked around by a better ball club, a better clubhouse right now, a little healthier team. And, that's how baseball is, man. Like I tell you, baseball is a weird game. It happens. It's how it goes sometimes, but really and truly, man, game 2, there wasn't a bright spot for me. It was one of those where, 9-3, you got smacked. And what do you say? That's one of them ones where you roll up your sleeves and you come back Sunday and try to get a game 3 dub. And then game 3, let's roll into that one real quick. What is there to talk about there, Dustin? Because what'd you get? 3 hits. You let a guy who threw for Arkansas, Cody Adcock. All right, the dude hasn't made a start for Arkansas since 2021, and he comes in and throws 6 scoreless. I think he threw 1 hit baseball.
Yeah, he looked comfortable.
And you got shut down. All right, so I know we're hurt and everybody wants to throw that out there, but maybe is this a year? Is this a year where it's puppies? Or we're just a young team. We're baby balling it right now. Do we have a lot to grow up on and learn from? I mean, I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't want to hit the panic button just yet. I know it's early. We've played 3 SEC games, but Sunday just looked like a depleted. It just looked like a depleted performance, man. Like nobody really showed up to play baseball.
Yeah. I kind of will let you speak to this because there's really not a whole lot to talk about on Sunday. I'll correct myself. I'll correct myself. I said Chase also threw Saturday. It was Sunday that he threw.
Yeah.
Good thing I'll say about this is that Will Cannon actually went 4.2.
Yep.
So like that's probably the most. I can't think of him going deeper or more innings than that this year. So I was kind of impressed to see that he had that in him. I was like, oh damn, he can go 4. And he looked good in those 4. And that's kind of one of them things where 5, the way we've been hitting the ball this year, this is a game we should have been in.
Yeah.
Will gave you the opportunity. He came in after Chase really like cluttered it up, and Connor Copeland didn't have. I mean, he starts a game and goes 2.2. Like again, you're not getting deep outings, bro. You got to get deeper. So Will kind of came in and saved the day with all of that and gave us a chance to win. And we didn't get any hits. So I don't have anything to say. I mean, like there's nothing to talk about really on that one. I'll just say this, because I know that me and you have talked about it off air. Is it you see every day you see different lineups. So I know that like you can speak to that a lot better than me, but it's just it's the different, and I know you have injuries, but it's you're seeing a lot of different lineups every day, and it kind of makes you wonder, like, can guys get in a rhythm when they're always batting in a different place? And
here's my thing, man, with that is like the reason I text you that and I was like, I'm just kind of like, man, look, I feel like the way Gavin Miller has been playing, I feel like you throw Gavin Miller at 3B, throw Bryson at 2B, and you just roll with it. All right. I don't know. I just every day there's a new lineup. This guy goes from hitting 5th in the lineup to hitting 9th in the lineup, and this guy goes from hitting 8th to 6th, and it's just so much just in and out, man. And like Caden Green and Brody Moss, like constantly switching at 2B, and it's just like, what's going on, man? And so I just kind of want to see like somebody get in a groove and like somebody, solidify a spot, anchor something down and let's get a lineup and let's roll with it, and one thing, in game 3, man, once again, it was the telltale of it, Dustin. They have a big inning. The Wegner kid hits a bomb. All right. I think he hit a 3-run bomb. I think, 3-run bomb. All right. And then they come in the 4th inning, I believe, and they get a 2-run single. And there you go. There's your 5 runs. So they had 2 innings where they got their runs. All right. The telltale of the entire series, Dustin. The telltale of it. We couldn't avoid the big innings, and they got clutch hits. We didn't. I mean, what do you do? Like you said, the pitching wasn't the reason we really lost Sunday. We were inept at the plate, man. We couldn't swing the sticks, and that's why I opened up the episode with our offense just completely abandoning us this weekend. We forgot it back here in Alabama. So, man, I think there's a lot of room to grow right now. I think you have tonight a chance to get better and get some quality momentum heading in to this weekend, and a chance where you really need to shoot for 2 out of 3. But at the end of the day, man, we could possibly sneak. I would love to sneak a series sweep out. So I think that would be huge. That would get you back to 3-3. You have a series win under your belt. That would be big time with your schedule getting a little thicker here, and the big dogs start rolling to town. So, man, Dustin, look, before we wrap this one up, I'm gonna leave you with the floor. Just give me your final thoughts, man.
Yeah, we got to sweep them. I want to go 4-0 this week. 3-1 at the minimum, but let's go 4-0 this week because it's Georgia. So, and we didn't even get to play them last year. So let's sweep Georgia and have a little bit of fun with that, because we obviously football didn't go the right. We split it with them in basketball. Let's sweep them in baseball and at least have that one. And like you said, get back to even in the conference, because, man, like you watch LSU and some of these teams we got coming up, buddy, and that'll be a fun one. That'll be a fun one this weekend between them and Arkansas. I look forward to that one. But
that will
be a good one, man. So just like and subscribe to the channel. We got a lot of stuff coming up. Got some football stuff coming up soon. Like I said, man, you're gonna really attack this recruiting stuff coming up soon. There's gonna be commits are going to be coming in real quick. You got 8A coming up. You've had the best visitor list, bro, that we've had. I mean, like some of these scrimmages that we're having, you're having like Big Cat Weekend type list. I mean, on Friday we had 10 plus. I know of at least 10 4 stars or higher that were on campus just for a practice. So
damn,
it's about to start rolling. And you got you got a QB like Walker White that is going up to guys' hotels and meeting them in the lobby. How you doing? I'm Walker White, and and then every interview, bro, like 5-star safety does an interview with multiple different recruiting outlets, and he's just like, that Walker White kid's on me, man. And Hugh Freeze calls me every day, and Trevon Reed calls me. Trevon Reed did an interview today on Auburn Live. Him and Hugh Freeze have a competition to see who can call kids the most.
Really?
Like, this is just different, bro. It's just different. This is going to be such a fun recruiting cycle for us. And then just win 7-8 games on the field, show proof of concept, show growth, and then it'll really take off. So
love it.
Yeah, I can't wait, bro.
Love it, man. Love it. Yeah, I know we got a couple big episodes coming up. And this weekend, hopefully the Auburn Tigers can get back on track on the diamond. At home, go Phil Plainsman. It's going to be a special one. And let's get back in this thing. So don't hit the panic button just yet. Don't give up on this baseball team. We're good. Let's get some big time dubs this weekend. Like Dustin said, let's go 4-0. And we will leave y'all with that. A War Damn Eagle. And we are out of here.